Mozambique, prominent opposition figure Venancio Martin is facing 5 serious criminal charges, including incitement to terrorism, following months of unrest after last year's dispute elections. Martin, a vocal opponent of the ruling Frelimo party, claims that the charges are politically motivated. He alleges the October 9 election won by President Daniel Chapo was marred by massive electoral fraud. In their aftermath, Martin led nationwide protests that turned violent, with reports indicating at least 400 people were killed and 600 injured, many allegedly by police. 31 officers are now standing trial for their actions during the crackdown. Despite the accusations, Martin says he has a clear conscience and is backed by an international legal team. He also accuses President Chapo's administration of violating a peace agreement signed in March, which had raised hopes for national reconciliation and led to reforms including a new reconciliation law passed in April. However, tensions are rising once again, and many fear Mozambique's hard-won democratic progress may be at risk. Nigerian Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduaghan was blocked from entering the National Assembly on Tuesday, despite a court ruling that lifted her 6-month suspension. The suspension was handed down in March after she accused Senate President Godswill Akpabio of demanding sexual favors. A federal court overturned the decision on July 5th, calling it excessive and insisting her constituents deserve representation. Basically, the president refused her entry, prompting Akpoti-Oduaghan to accuse the Senate of defying the cuts and undermining democracy. She is one of only 4 women in the 109-member chamber. The Senate responded by saying the court's ruling was merely an opinion and claimed she violated the gag order and hasn't paid a related fine. Akpabio has appealed, arguing courts shouldn't interfere in parliamentary affairs.
That contravenes the Nigerian Constitution is illegal, and the National Assembly cannot be greater than the Constitution. They are now coming down again based on the appeal. Akpabio himself cannot be greater than the courts, cannot be greater than the Constitution.
Human Rights Watch HRW has accused Mali's armed forces and the Russian Wagner Group of serious abuses, including the disappearance of at least 81 Fulani men and the execution of 1,000 others since January 2025. According to HRW, the abuses occurred during joint operations targeting Islamist militants. The group noted that Fulani men are often suspected of links to jihadist groups, making the entire ethnic community a target. Wagner, a Russian paramilitary group with a history of civilian abuse, has been operating in Mali alongside government forces for several years. Though unofficial link to the Kremlin, Wagner has faced repeated accusations of human rights violation across Africa. HRW is now urging the African Union to pressure Mali's ruling junta to launch a full investigation into the alleged crimes. You're watching a news update on Africa 24 Hours TV. To stay tuned, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Africa 24 Hours TV, and also log on to our website for more breaking news and stories at www.africa24hours.com. My name is Amos Zege.